funds of community engagement services for climate mobilization and awareness building in the city of Los Angeles, while essentially serving as a pass-through agent to MADE identified. I don't think it's MADE, it's MADE, right? Okay, MADE identified CBOs and vendors, and only receiving a maximum of 15% administrative fee on the funds that are passed through these smaller vendors. Two, find that the pursuant to LACC Section 1022, the city council or designee has determined that the services above can be performed more economically, efficiently, and feasibly by independent contractors than by city employees. Okay. Three, approve the proposed stakeholder engagement in outreach personal services contract between the City of Los Angeles and community partners for a term not to exceed 1.5 years in the amount of $900,000. And last, authorize the President of the Board of Public Works or two commissioners of the board to execute the proposed contract between the city and community partners, subject to the approval of the city attorney. And this morning, we have Ms. Clark here. Ms. Clark, welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, Amy Clark, Deputy Director of Operations here for CMO Director and Chief Heat Officer Marta Segura. Thank you very much for your time. Before us is this proposed personal services contract with community partners, stakeholder engagement and outreach for the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office, known as CMO. So CMO and its related Climate Emergency Mobilization Commission were established by Ordinance Number 187126 and later amended by Ordinance Number 187637 in 2022. The related sections of Los Angeles Administrative Code, which are Chapter 13, Article 12, 22.362 through 4, and Administrative Code Chapter 35, Section 22.1500, govern how the CEMC, the commission, functions, and also outline the role of the office, CMO, the commission, and the director of CMO, executive director of the CMC, and the chief heat officer. One of CMO's key roles, as outlined in Administrative Code Section 22362A, is coordinating public education and outreach of stakeholder processes through community assemblies and the mayor's sustainability and resilience offices, scientists, social and environmental justice advocates, local labor unions and union federations, the Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance, local non-governmental organizations or NGOs, neighborhood councils, homeowners associations, and business groups. The city originally entered into contract number C138814 with Liberty Hill Foundation as contractor on August 26, 2021 for stakeholder engagement services, which with a much broader scope and funding allocation than is being requested here today. Additionally, while Liberty Hill Foundation was very helpful and instrumental to fulfilling CMO's mission and city services in initial years of the contract, due to a loss of accounting capacity by Liberty Hill Foundation last year, the contractor informed CMO just prior to the end of fiscal year 2023 that they would no longer be able to service CMO's invoices or serve as a fiscal agent. Additionally, while stakeholder engagement services that are coordinated by CMO continue to expand with each successive year, including our very successful first ever in-person community assembly, which included citywide participation in March 2024, overall administrative needs are decreasing. The stakeholder engagement services now needed are slightly narrower in scope and only cost reimbursement or fiscal agent serving in nature. And therefore, this refined, simplified contract will more efficiently achieve CMO's aims and save the city budgetary fund allocations for this required community engagement work. Since CMO heavily relies on the cost reimbursement contract model to ensure compensation for CBOs and these small vendors, which are primarily located in neighborhoods with greater pollution burden and climate risks in the city of Los Angeles, then are prioritized for allocation of resources as determined by the Measure of Access, Disparity, and Equity, which is the acronym MADE, as President Garcia pointed out, which is also known as the Los Angeles Equity Index and Tool, in order to fulfill equitable stakeholder engagement, SEMO must enter into a timely agreement with a successor contractor knowledgeable of working with similar CBOs and vendors in Los Angeles for the scale and scope of work needed by SEMO to ensure continuation of payment and services. Thank you very much. I'm available for any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Did a good job in reporting back here. Questions, colleagues? I see Commissioner Reyes with her light on.
Hi, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I think this is very important, given the fact that we have climate change and urban heat, and all of these impacts on our environment more and more pronounced as global warming increases. And SEMO has that major role in really doing that outreach. So just for clarification, community partners will serve as a fiscal agent.
That is correct.
Is that correct? That term as a fiscal agent responsible for the invoicing and all that, so that they will be processing those. And then the second thing is on the CBOs themselves in terms of partnering with them. We, the SEMO, will be responsible for the MOUs or LOAs, whatever is necessary to get that work expedited. Am I correct?
That is correct, and is outlined in the contract that SEMO will be responsible for coming up with the terms and the provisions with the MOUs. They will not be being drafted by the fiscal agent community partners.
So on your list, how many fiscal partners do we have, or CBOs do we have in the pipeline that we're working with in terms of outreach? Because I know it differs from area by area.
Certainly, and the number of CBOs that we work and partner with continues to expand with each year. We are really dedicated to working with trusted partners in these very specific communities that are defined by high heat risk and defined by equity concerns. And there are one of the values of working with the trusted CBOs is their nature in the community. In terms of exact numbers, we have been growing in our partnerships each year, but at the same time, predicting the exact number of the CBO partners might vary. It could be, up to 10 or 12 in an upcoming year. One of the other values of being able to work in the spirit of community level contracting, CLC, with some of these smaller entities is that some of these organizations, while they have the skills and the trust in the community to fulfill these outreach services effectively, they might not themselves have the accounting capacity to be able to enter into their own LOAs and MOUs with the city. And by working through the fiscal agent of community partners, we're also able to educate and empower some of the smaller CBOs in this nature so that with each successive year, we are actually increasing their capacity to grow services with the city so that we may then move to working with some newer and smaller ones as we have educated and trained and brought up some of the others with each successive year. Therefore, I'm not certain that I would say the number continues to accumulate and multiply.
Okay.
It certainly is growing, but it also is cycling them through in that effect.
So how do you measure success overall for this effort?
I think we will measure success ultimately in very big picture by reducing. Number one is reducing heat risk and heat injury overall in the city. In terms of this regard, it would be increasing equitable investments in the areas of the city that most greatly need these services, increasing the outreach and the capacity in the multiple languages. We do have an extensive heat relief for Los Angeles campaign that we partner with these community-based organizations on, and spreading the PSA education and awareness in these communities so that more constituents of Los Angeles are able to share and contribute ideas to plans overall, as well as being reached by our services and our educational outreach on climate risks and climate change under our mission.
And in addition, I think there is also a need to very closely coordinate efforts with our emergency management department and our key city departments who are engaged in reaching out to their own constituents with regards to mitigating heat, especially coming up this summer.
Agreed. And we do partner extensively with EMD, with LADWP, with Rec and Parks, with the Office of the Mayor, with numerous other city departments that are tasked with similar missions for efficiency and overlap while integrating the work of the CBOs and the community-based organizations as well.
Yeah, because our agencies, our departments also have their own CBOs that they work
Right.
with, so that connecting them and making sure that there is sort of a common ground and alignment, I think is very important, given the fact that we're spending money for this community outreach. I would like to see that more into a seamless type of a process when it comes to outreach and education.
Understood, Commissioner Reyes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Reyes. Really appreciate your line of questioning there. I have a quick question. How do you select the CBOs that work with CMO?
So many of the CBOs that work with CMO are brought in through the processes as we are working on the community assemblies and we are establishing planning committees. The partners from one of the first years that are known through the environmental justice organizations, from other partnerships with city departments and offices, as Commissioner Reyes has outlined, and they start making some recommendations too. It is both then through a fact of working with them in a co-creation, in planning committees, in order to create virtual events and in order to create in-person events that we are able to see in effect capacity and ability to execution, and then we continue to move forward with the best partners that have the greatest reach and who have achieved the greatest effect of services in their community, and that we continue to expand and grow upon these services through each of the years and each of the co-created events with these community partners that are sourced both from existing relationships through other cities and CBOs and through the network of environmental justice organizations that we are partnering with and making their own recommendations to us in local communities here in Los Angeles.
Thank you for that. Once you start working with the CBOs, can you please send us a list of the CBOs you guys have selected, that, like the first round, and then there'll be opportunities for others, I imagine, right?
Yes, certainly. And that is the goal to an expansion each year, is to increase opportunities citywide.
Got it. And this term is up to 900, but that does not mean that that's the full amount, correct?
Yes, that is the maximum amount within this contract term.
Got it. Okay.
I have one little-
Sure. Dr. Davis?
Yeah, my question is around the, you are an agency that's a pass-through agency for the CBOs that will be participating. Is that correct? And you get a fee, what is it, 15%? How is that negotiable?
Yes, that will be, so community partners as the fiscal agent will be the
Okay.
pass-through agent, not CMO in a sense. But community partners will not receive more than a 15% administrative fee on any of the services incurred. So overall, their overhead is very limited. They are essentially only performing an accounting function, and the other work is really the outreach, the language, the translation, the getting out into the community that is really performed by the CBOs and the work that they do to help co-design and co-create these campaigns and outreach events in partnership with the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office.
Oh, my question was, is that a 15% solid request that will be given, or is it a sliding scale and it depends upon the CBO with whom they're working as to if it's up to 15%, or is it a solid 15% per transaction and relationship with each individual CBO with whom they're working? How does that work?
The understanding is that it is not to exceed 15%.
So they do have-
Certainly, if there's any chance where there is an ability, if the administrative fee could be reduced for the fiscal agent, that would be fine. But we understand that that is what will be needed
It'll be
by
15.
the agent to be,
Sure.
as a minimum, to be able to process all of these invoices for
Got
the
it.
smaller organizations.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate the 15% administrative fee, to be honest. I've seen others, but this is definitely something that we can work with.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, colleagues? Any objections? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 3 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mr. Tursky, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 3 forward and forthwith.
Great. We will start the vote with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Corsiant.
Aye.
Thanks. And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you so much, Ms. Clark. Very well job in presenting today.
Thank you very much.
Have
to
a good
all of the board
weekend.
members.
Okay, colleagues, moving on to I'm going to actually take item 7 because Mr. Bigelow is here, front and center. So I'm moving us up to item number 7, which is a status update on major upcoming street improvement projects.
Good morning, President Garcia, Board. My name is Paul Bingaman, and this is Dora Robles. I've been mentoring her for about 8 years now. She's been with the city, and she's going to assist with the presentation today.
Oh, okay. You had a special intro.
First time. Okay. Good morning, President Garcia and Board Reps. My name is Dora Robles, representing the Street Renewal Division of Streets LA. This information is being provided to keep the public informed of the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as the delays. For additional information or concerns, you can contact our coordinating section of the Street Renewal Division at 213-847-3200. There are no major street projects scheduled in the Metro or Valley resurfacing regions during the week of May 12, 2024 through May 18, 2024. However, we will provide an update on our 2023-24 pavement preservation program. During the week of May 12, 2024 through May 18, 2024, the Valley and Metro regions will complete 15 projects for a total of 8.90 lane miles. The press releases were distributed and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the council offices to assist with the outreach to stakeholders. We have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This information is also available on the Streets LA website using the resurfacing open project icon. This concludes my report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for that. What was your name again, ma'am?
Dora Robles.
Dora Robles. Good job on presenting this morning. Any questions to the Bureau of Street Services? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time and look forward to seeing you now.
Thank you.
Mr. Bigelow, thank you for your presence here. Okay, colleagues, the other items we have, we do not have a speaker on them, but I see folks here. But okay, let's move us back to item number 4. This is an administrative item in all council districts. The mayor and city council have approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Sanitation to execute the proposed personal service contract with Southern California Disposal Company for the processing waste of West Los Angeles waste shed. And I do have a speaker card here, but the speaker has left the room. Confirmed. Okay. Item number 4, public comment is now closed. I don't have a speaker for this item, so is there a second to my motion to approve item number 4? Dr. Davis, Mr. Tursky, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
Great. We will take roll call. President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Corsiant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Very well, thank you for that. Next administrative item, this is in all council districts, item number 5. I do have a public speaking card, but speaker is not in the room, confirmed. Thank you. All council districts, the mayor and city council have approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Sanitation to execute the proposed personal service contract by Legacy Byproducts LLC for the recovery and processing services of dead animals for the Bureau of Sanitation's Dead Animal Recovery Program. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item? Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Mr. Tursky, there's a first by me and a second by Commissioner Reyes to move item number 5 forward and forthwith.
Okay, roll call. President Garcia,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Corsian,
Aye.
and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
All right, thank you, guys. Good seeing you. Mr. Isaac, always a pleasure. I'm waiting for my invitation. Moving on to item number 6. This is a request by all council districts for a partial release of stop notice, LA Steel Service, Inc. LA Steel Service, Inc. is transmitting a second partial release of stop notice in the amount of $25,904 with 41 cents, reducing the stop notice from $105,320.27 to $14,417.41 for work done in the connection with the Soto Street Bridge over Valley Boulevard and Union Pacific Railroad. Again, this is administrative item. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mr. Tursky, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 6 forward and forthwith.
Okay, roll call beginning with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Corsian, and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Okay, well, is that the last of our voting items, Mr. Tursky?
That is the end of the agenda items.
That is the end. It is now 10:48 and this meeting's officially adjourned. We'll have a really short management meeting in the conference room. Other than that, everybody have a good weekend and happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Mr.